What's up, everybody? My name is Tim Stoddard with StodzyMedia.com. Today is episode 40 and welcome to Stodzyland. Today we're going to go over some simple tips that are going to help you become a better blogger. Now to start, I'm a big advocate of blogging, but it's important to understand that blogging is a very general term, just like the word content is a very general term. There's a whole lot of ways that you can create an effective blog, and it doesn't always have to be just strictly written form. However, being a good writer and practicing your writing is probably the most advantageous thing you can do, because the words are what appeals to the search engines. So if you want to rank in Google, then you have to be able to write and you have to have content. If ranking in Google isn't your biggest priority, then you can do all types of stuff with a blog, and I'll explain a little bit more in depth of that as we go. So let's get started. Tip number one: in order to create a blog that people are engaged with, you have to format your posts and your pages for the web. So what I mean by that is that when people are reading on a screen, whether they're reading on their phone, it's not like they're reading a book. They're not interested in big long paragraphs and really drawn out stories. You have to know how to chop up your content so that people can scan it. The truth is that most people that come to your page aren't going to read the whole thing. They're going to scan it, they're going to look at some headers, they're going to look at some bullet points, they're going to get a pretty good understanding as to what that content is about. So in order to appeal to this reader, you have to break it up into paragraphs. I mean, almost very similar to how this is. You're going to have a header, you break it up into little tiny paragraphs. So I would almost make each paragraph like a sentence, 2 sentences, if that. Make sure you use bullet points. Don't list the entire blog, but if there is a situation that warrants listing things out, make sure you do so. Make sure you use headers. The header is the H2 tag. If you're using WordPress, it's a very simple drop down. If you have any questions, you can email me about it. But breaking up your content into little bite-sized pieces of information is way more effective. Tip number 2. As I alluded to a little bit before, blogs are much more than just words. I would almost think of them as like a multimedia piece of content. So using words, using videos, linking out to resources, maybe putting some pictures in there, maybe embedding some GIFs in there. The more entertaining and the better of the story that you can tell, then the more captivating your blog is going to be, and the more captivating of a blogger and an author you're going to be. That's how you're going to build like a real following. So make sure you use images. Make sure you use videos. Make sure you're linking out to your resources. So if you say something that is rooted in fact and you need some credibility behind it, make sure you link out to the resource that you got it from, or else you're just going to be kind of making stuff up, and that's really going to hurt you as well. Alright, so these are a little bit more technical tips. This ultimately is the most important thing you can do. Content and blogging is so automated these days. You wouldn't believe the kind of machines and the machine learning that's happening, and scraping other websites and curating content and throwing it all together. And the web, in a way, is starting to kind of lose its humanity. The bloggers that are still successful, you can look at Ramit Sethi or Brian Clark or Sonia Simone or there's a bunch of them, which I can list below. I'm kind of having a brain fart right now. But the bloggers that are still really successful still write as a human. They still speak directly to their audience. So they speak from their own experience. They speak conversationally. They're not trying to write a book report, unless they're writing something like scientific, like Neil deGrasse Tyson has a lot, and even Bill Nye. They write a lot of content that is scientific in nature, but if you read some of these, and I'll link these below as well, you can see that they still speak about really serious matters in a conversational tone. That's what people want to read. And again, this is kind of the same thing. Just simple wording. Speak to people in plain English. That's what they want. You have to make sure that what you're saying is very easy to absorb and to understand. finally, this is absolutely my least favorite one. Grammar. If you're making videos, if you're doing podcasts, if you're creating art, there's a strange like double standard where if you're speaking, people just let you get away with bad English and bad grammar. I always use bad grammar when I speak. I just have never been very good at it. But when you're writing, for whatever reason, people just hold you way more accountable to your grammar. So make sure you got that right. Step away. This is something that I always try to do. I'll write something, and then when you write it and you're really excited about it and you think it's good, you're like excited to publish it and you're excited to share it, walk away from it. Step away from it for 12 hours, come back, reread it with a fresh mind and a fresh perspective. That's going to help as well. And then just stupid things. Beware of stupid mistakes. Your versus your is always a big one. Then versus than is always a big one. The different kind of twos. The best way to fix this stuff is just to give it to somebody else. Give it to an editor. Have them go through it, because sometimes when you're so deep into it and you're kind of too focused on the message of your writing, you have a hard time seeing all the little details. So that's what I would do. Look, blogging is still the easiest and the most effective thing you can do to grow your website and to grow your business. These tips right here are really going to help you. If you can start here and if you can master these fundamentals, everything else you learn on top of that is just going to be icing on the cake. But if you can start here, you're going to be good. You're really going to be good. You're going to build a following and you'll make some money. So email me, tim@stodzy.com. I love talking to you guys. I hope everybody had a great holiday. I appreciate you letting me take this week and a half, 2 weeks off. It was good to hang out with my family. I'm excited to get back to work, and I'm excited to talk to you guys. Look forward to speaking to you. Thank you as always. I'll see you next time. Peace.